Welcome back, fellow nerds. I'm Michelle.
I'm Chris.
And today we are going to be doing this or that for Middle-earth.
One does not simply choose favorites in Middle-earth. So to be clear, we're sticking strictly with Lord of the Rings on this one. And this is actually, we were looking at, doing another this or that this month because we've really enjoyed doing them here the last couple of months. And we were just wondering, what could we do? And it took Michelle about 5 seconds, I think, to go, oh, Middle-earth, Lord of the Rings, can we do that? And I was like, absolutely, love it. Where did you get the inspiration to do that, Michelle?
I don't know, maybe the cool Funko Pops I got for Christmas, maybe this t-shirt, maybe the fact that we watched the movie on Sunday, hey?
Maybe the fact that it was Tolkien's birthday on last Sunday, maybe? Who knows? I know this is probably your absolute favorite series.
Yeah, it probably is. It's a pretty close tie between this and Harry Potter, but I've loved this longer, so I think it wins. So our first pick for the day is actually going to be Gandalf. Gandalf the Grey versus Gandalf the White. I
feel like everyone says Gandalf the Grey, and Gandalf the Grey is a lot of fun. I mean, he's got the fireworks, he's always smoking, various pipes and different types of tobaccos and whatnot. He's just very jovial, has a lot of fun. But Gandalf the White is like superhero level awesome. I mean, he is so cool and he just doesn't care. He's like almost an action hero. So I got to go with Gandalf the White.
Yeah, I have a special love for Gandalf the White also, but I do love Gandalf the Grey because he does some really cool stuff too. And I think although we're sticking with Lord of the Rings in this video, if you look back at some of the things that he does in The Hobbit as well, it's pretty epic. And also the fact that if you didn't know this, wizards have lived for like thousands of years at a time. So it's not as though he was actually supposed to be the age that he looks. He's been around forever. So he's had a lot of time to get into a lot of trouble.
Quite a bit, and he is a troublemaker. The next one, we're going to solve the eternal battle that went on throughout all of the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Legolas versus Gimli. Best of friends and ultimate competitors.
Yes.
So which one do you have?
Gimli forever. I love Gimli. He's a lot of fun. He's relatable because he's short.
I wonder why you like that. She's like 5'1",
like barely. But yes, I love Gimli. He's got a lot of spirit too, and I think it's really cool because he's a really good fighter and he can take on all of these orcs at one time and get right up in their faces. And I always love the moment where the toss me, but don't tell the elf.
I gotta go with Gimli too. He's just a lot of fun. I kind of go back to after the Helm's Deep battle, where they're drinking and everything. The drinking game, and he's just so funny. He thinks he's gonna win, and it's like, yeah, he's so spirited right up until the point he passes out.
Yes.
Gimli's just a lot of fun, and he's an epic warrior. I mean, Legolas is awesome. The whole fellowship is just aces, but come on, it's got to be Gimli.
Well, I think there's just something about elves too. They're always a little bit more aloof because they are so long living and so wise and so skilled that, I don't know, they're not quite as naturally lovable.
You definitely would want to party with a dwarf more.
So next up, we're actually doing this a little bit differently. So we're going to do the friendships. Friendship of Frodo and Sam versus friendship of Merry and Pippin.
Now see, you did the qualifier there, because if you'd have just said Frodo and Sam versus Merry and Pippin, we know who's winning that battle, because Pippin is a huge handicap. He's probably my least favorite character in the actual trilogy. He's just always doing the wrong thing at the wrong time, and it's just because he's so curious. But since you said friendship, that changes the game. So now we're looking at, as far as their relationships, I mean, like I said, Frodo and Sam, they're real tight, but I mean, Merry and Pippin, I think I'm gonna have to go with that as far as friendships go, because I mean, that goes back a long time, and it is deep. And when Merry is even annoyed by Pippin, but he still sticks by him. I mean, it's like the ultimate version of loyalty. I mean, we can talk about Frodo and Sam literally going into battle together, and going off together on that end of it. But, to be so annoyed with a person and still be their best friend, that is true friendship.
Yeah, I think ultimately I have to agree with you that Merry and Pippin, their friendship is tight, and I think they're a little bit on more equal ground too than Frodo and Sam, because there's kind of a little bit of a class divide, which, interestingly enough, as I was watching this last time, I don't think I'd ever really paid attention. You can actually look at the clothes that the four hobbits start out in and kind of see their social standing a little bit. Frodo's got on all this really lush velvety stuff. Mary's got on some kind of brocade stuff, so does Pippin, and then you see Sam in this very like homespun looking like vest and jacket and stuff, and I think it shows in their friendship, especially because he always calls him Mr. Frodo instead of just being Frodo.
Yeah.
I think Frodo tries to make Sam feel a little bit more important than what he does, because he's always reminding him like that he's brave and that he's helped and that he never could have done this without him. But ultimately, there's always still a little bit of a, I think more on Sam's side, a little bit of an unbalance that he can't ever quite overcome until maybe the very end. Yeah, I think Merry and Pippin, one of my favorite moments with them is them drinking the water from the Ents, the Ent draft.
They're all like, neither one of them wants to be shorter than the other. It's like and it's like, we're talking about like by that much, but I mean, that matters so much to them.
It was like, everybody knows I'm the tall one, you're the short one.
They bicker like an old married couple, which I think is the best sign of true friendship.
Oh, and then when Pippin looks at the seeing stone and Merry goes, you had to look. Why do you always have to look?
All right, so we're going to have a battle between two epic races here. The Ents versus the Elves.
Both of whom are huge helps through the series for different reasons.
Yeah, if neither one of... I would say, like, if both of them hadn't been there for that, the battle would have gone completely different.
But for me, I have to say Ents. I love the Ents. I think that they're extremely cool. Treebeard is awesome. And I think that I may have a little bit of a thing for John Rhys Davies because I'm like, I love Gimli, I love Treebeard, I don't know. But the Battle of the Ents at Isengard is something that I just absolutely love. Just watching them tear the orcs apart, like one of them catches on fire and then like puts himself out in the dam when it breaks. And yeah, it's great. I love the Ents. They're so cool.
I'm going to go with the Ents for all the reasons you said, and for one other reason that is completely out of left field. I don't even know if I've ever told you before. Treebeard looks like he could be a member of my favorite band, or one of my favorite bands. He looks like he could belong in ZZ Top. And also, he kind of talks like Billy F. Gibbons, real low, kind of, you know, and everything. So yeah, I love it. Love the Ents. I always love Treebeard, and I always think that like something like "Give Me All Your Love" and should be playing in the background. So got to go with the Ents.
All right, and our final matchup for today is between two women, and two of the only women in this series, because it is definitely a very male-heavy cast of characters. So we have Arwen the elf versus Éowyn the warrior from Rohan.
And I know like before we shot this video, we spent like 10 minutes me trying to figure out which one's which, because this series sometimes has a problem with naming everything very similar. So Arwen is the elf played by Liv Tyler, and Éowyn is Gondor, you know, the princess?
No, not technically.
Well, what is she?
She's the niece of the king, so I'm not sure what that makes her.
Whatever it is. So it literally took me like 10 minutes of going back and forth of going, now which is which? Because I still, and like Saruman and Sauron, it's another kind of situation there. Sometimes it's like, I can't tell which is which. I can't remember.
He's an amateur.
Yeah, I am. I'm bringing a knife to a gunfight here. You know what? Just for the "I am no man" quote, gotta go with Éowyn. She is so hardcore, and you know, does not back up an inch. And she's bad to the bone. I gotta go with her.
I have to agree on this one too. I guess we're just on the same page today. But I love Éowyn's character. I think she's really cool. And I also think, for my part, it makes a difference because I've read the books and know that Arwen actually plays less of a role in the books than she does in the movies. So they bring more significance to her character, which is nice in the movies to make, you know, to make it a little bit more balanced. But yeah, you can't beat Éowyn taking down the Witch King. All right, so this has been our This or That through Middle-earth. What did you think? Did you disagree with us? And what other ones would you like to see matchups of in the future? We can do more Middle-earth. We can hit another series entirely. Let us know what you're interested in the comments. Be sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to our channel, and hit those bells for notifications whenever we post a new video. And if you get to missing us in between videos, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at D's Nerds, and we'll be happy to chat. I'm Michelle.
I'm Chris.
We are D's Nerds, and have a great, safe rest of the day.
Bye.